Hi friends, welcome to the Wild Side. I'm Steve Hall. We're taking you on a bird watching journey today that you might say is a little bit of a religious experience. Prothonotary warblers are believed to get their name from yellow hooded garments once worn by Roman Catholic clergymen. But the life of this brightly colored bird is currently on the dark side. That's because their home is often destroyed to make way for people places, and they are sometimes the naive victims of deadly deception by other birds. Their story seems to fit well within a continuing saga recorded in history at Port Royal State Park. Migration has marked the passing of time in this place that is now Port Royal State Park. 5,000 Native Americans traveled through this land as they were forcibly moved to the west. And just as surely as the Red River brought commerce and community, the railroad came and took it away. All who have passed here were looking for survival at the very least. And now, a precious little gold-breasted bird is migrating here from Central and South America, facing a threat to its very existence.
The gourd is right here. I'm just monitoring this gourd for eggs and chicks. Here he goes. She came out, he'll go in. It's a Prothonotary Warbler, and there are 4 chicks in here. I have a digital recorder, I log that in there. And of course I keep records of everything. All the data is sent to the Cornell Lab of Ornithology.
As Dwayne Rice pursues his passion for protecting birds, his wife Nita has a deeply inspired passion of her own.
Mine is through photography, which I picked up through my brother, Norm. You know, he's my legacy. I try to pass on. Since he's gone, I try to carry on the genealogy and photography that he loved. I picked that up from him. So I've always been a nature photographer even before I met Dwayne, and it's just, you know, continued through our marriage.
As she captures moments in time at this historic park, her husband is checking out the gourds he has hung in trees to give Prothonotary warblers a place to nest.
They're the only warbler that uses a cavity, at least in eastern North America. There is another species out west, but what we have here, and they're the only species of bird that can swim when they leave the nest. That's another thing that's unique to these birds. And they're threatened species because we destroy the habitat that they normally nest in, such as tree cavities, by destroying trees, and by invasive species like English sparrows or house sparrows, starlings, and in this case, cowbirds also will lay their eggs in the Prothonotary warbler's nest. That's why I try to make the hole too small for the cowbird to get in. If the cowbird successfully lays an egg and it's not removed, the cowbird egg will hatch first, usually, and the parents, the Prothonotary warbler parents, don't know the difference. They will feed that cowbird chick just like it was their own, and the cowbird chick will either push the eggs or the Prothonotary warbler chicks out of the nest.
This is not his first attempt to assist a threatened bird species. He has spent years helping bring bluebirds back by creating a trail of bluebird boxes.
I started, setting up nest boxes around my place, and then my neighbors, and then friends and acquaintances, and then at the parks and cemeteries along my route to and from work. And it's gotten out of hand, completely out of hand.
Since he's a musician, Dwayne will tell you his actions shouldn't be all that surprising.
Birds, of course, are the only creature that sing. So, that's only natural that I would be drawn to a creature that's musical,
In the midst of the Bluebird Box project nearly a decade ago, Dwayne had a brain aneurysm that nearly killed him. So his appreciation for life-threatening circumstances, even for birds, is intense.
Having had a close brush with death, even though I've had that from a young age. I lost my father when I was 12, so I learned early on, that life can be very short, and to try to make a difference with what you do and who you are while you're here. Try to let your light shine. I'm not going to be here forever, but I'd like to be remembered for having done some good.
His love of birds keeps Dwayne connected to the park, and Nita takes solace here with a personal connection to a part of history the park has preserved.
I remembered that my great-grandmother, on my mother's side, was part Cherokee. And she had walked, from the stories I was told as a child, she had walked the Trail of Tears, probably through these grounds, because I've traced my family history through Tennessee, from North Carolina, Tennessee, on into Missouri and Arkansas. So she probably maybe even walked some of these same grounds that we're at today. And became an orphan during that walk.
Here at Port Royal, we have a preserved section. It's about 300 yards of preserved section of what's known as the Trail of Tears National Historical Trail. It's actually been certified by the National Park Service.
Inside here, I see 4 Prothonotary Warbler chicks, about 5 days old, maybe 3 to 5 days old.
Newborn chicks in Dwayne's gourds are a good sign that the warblers still have a chance for recovery.
One of the things about cavity nesting species, if they have a safe place to nest, they will use that spot. They're what we call site faithful. They will use the same site time after time, year after year. They will return, just like hummingbirds do to your hummingbird feeder. They'll come back to that same spot almost the same time every year.
You can visit our website, wildsidetv.com, to learn more about Prothonotary warblers and ways that maybe you can help. Like a lot of people, these birds prefer living on waterfront property.